Here we are at the start line of the legendary Team Mila relay, and this will be the first time ever I will get the chance to run the first leg. I've been probably running Team Mila more than 10 times, but always been running a night leg. But this year I was selected for the first leg for my team OK Moss in Norway. And as you can see, I'm standing quite far back. You can barely see to the front where the top runners are. And that's basically because we're no elite club in Okomos, so we have no good result from last year. And that puts me in a 168 starting position. So hopefully I can gain a lot of placements. And right now I'm so nervous. You can see my heart rate being 117 beats per minute even before I've started. And that's for sure no resting heart rate. And there we're finally off. And people are sprinting so fast. I knew it was going to be a fast start and that you need to defend your place. And hopefully I had hoped that I could take... Oh, and there's someone almost fall. I'm happy that I'm still standing on my legs and just trying to keep my position here in this massive field. And my tactic was to not overdo it to the start point, since I knew it was going to be quite hard to pass people here. And oh, there is someone who's really going for it. And try to pass people early, but if I was going to sprint in that pace, you can see I'm already running at 3 minutes per kilometer, then I would have been down at the start point. So I tried to just keep a fast pace, faster than is sustainable, but just keep my spot here and then hopefully be able to pass a lot of people once the orienteering starts and we head into the forest. And here I get some time to read the map as well. And I already here decided that I'm going to take the road to the left because I have the longest control. You can see to the left or at the top of this map section that you can see. So the left alternative out of the forkings to the first control. So it's a lot of running here in the beginning, and my heart rate is already 165 beats per minute, and I have a quite low maximum heart rate of 178. So this is well over 90% and over my threshold range already here to the start point. When I'm expected to run over 50 minutes, that's quite hard pace to start at. And there you can see some runners turning left and sometimes runners turning right. And I stick with the group running on the road here. And I think it was mainly people having the other two forkings who turned right in that first route choice. And here I'm just thinking of if I should try to pass people, but I think the pace is quite hard actually. And there I get passed by a guy. And I had hoped that coming to this point that I was going to feel strong and be able to pass quite many people already here on the road. But to be honest, I felt that starting sprint was was enough to just want me to make me to want to have this pace and don't overdo it. And it's quite boring first control for me, if I'm honest. It's not that much orienteering since I'm choosing the road here, and I think it wouldn't have been an alternative to go a more straight option. If the green area would have been fast, it could maybe be okay, but it's way too big risk, and no runner actually took that route choice, which is sensible because it's way bigger risk than the reward would have been. And losing a lot of positions here in the beginning and having 300 runners instead of 168 runners in front of me would have been really bad, because then it would be hard to pick up a places later in the race. And here we hit the trail, finally going into the trail, and here it's I try to pass some people here, and then we see a guy going on a different route choice. But I basically stick to my position here, and my thinking is that the first control will of course be forked, and of course I don't know how the forkings look, I only see my control. But I'm thinking that if I can just get my first forkings here, I will probably be able to take some placement just on that and don't have to overdo it here in the start. And my heart rate and the feeling in my legs is already that I don't need to run faster than this at least here. Although I had a hope that I was going to feel strong and be able to start passing people as soon as we head into the forest. But that was simply not the case. I'm not used to starting in a pace this high. So I actually got passed by another guy there who seems strong. Another guy passed me. This is not looking good, but I'm just focusing on now where I want to leave the trail. And here we see all runners basically leaving the trail at the same position. So here I think that maybe all of these guys will have the same forking as me. And finally I get to pass some people in that uphill. Maybe some people thought that it was getting pretty tough already here, because the starting pace was hard. At least I think so. And here I'm just of course seeing all the runners in front of me, but also checking my compass quite often to make sure that I get this first control perfect. And I can see that now right to the left of me I can see that bigger hill that is located right to the left of the knoll that is my control point. So I'm getting the first control in a really good way, so I'm happy with that. Although I'd hoped to be able to pass some more runners here. And then that guy passed me again. If you snooze, you lose. If you look at your map 2 seconds too much, you will get passed, because it's basically a long queue of runners in front of me and also behind me. And here I don't have this control that we will run past. That is a control on another forking. Here I didn't even see that control, but I have those double stones, those 2 small stones in the slope. And here it's just about keeping an okay direction. There I know that I'm on that small hill, and it's so many runners in front, and it's just stupid to try some different route choice alternative here. Although it could maybe have gone a bit faster to go slightly left. And here we can see people come from another forking. And I get a bit stressed because I realized that we need to go down the slope and get to this first one. So I realized that all of those people that we just saw will probably be way ahead of us at the next control. Get passed by another guy here. But there we get the control. And then we had someone maybe doing a bit of a mistake, coming from the wrong direction. And this is the first common control where we'll get to see what my placement is at that control if I manage to gain some positions from my 168th position start. But as you can see, I basically just kept my spot, but I have gotten my forkings in a good way. And there's always someone who's running to the wrong forkings. In the first part there you can see someone, you saw that guy turning back. Well, basically just follow the runners. And running on the first leg here, it's so important the first couple of controls that you are reading the map enough to make sure that you hit your forkings, because that guy you saw turning back, he will have a really hard time, because now he's at the back of the pack, and that will be a tough journey for him. And here we hit the trail. See some runners to the right of me are not using the trail, but I thought it was quite obvious to just use the trail that is basically going just under my red line to this third control. And my feeling here is that this has been a tough start. 167 as a heart rate, and I know that that is the maximum that I probably can keep for a 50-minute effort. And I really want to start picking up placement, but I gotta realize that my shape isn't better than I just gotta keep my position and then be happy with doing good navigation and hopefully be able to take some placements that way. And there you can see people coming from the right, from a different forking alternative. And here all runners have the same control, so we will come into this third control that was also a TV control. And it's a massive field. So this is me never haven't run any first leg on Team Mila or the Jukkola relay. This is a completely new experience with this many runners. I ran a first leg on the Swedish Championships relay, but that's not 330 teams. So this is it's quite intense with these many runners. And yeah, it's basically just following the others here, but I check my direction enough that I'm 100% sure of where the control is located and get the third control in a good way. And there I was in place 131, 1 minute and 15 seconds back from the front runners at this point. So it was quite good. I started at 168 position in the start and have gotten to take almost 30 places. Yes, from taking my forking in a good way. And here to the fourth control. Here I actually go on a little bit on my route choice of my own. I can see all other runners running to getting a bit stuck in that slope, so I try to find a better way. And I actually think I take some places here. Because the orienteering isn't so hard, I just know that I gotta keep a good direction, and I will see that big hill to the left of me now and then get up out on this open area with cutted trees. And then we just going to run up to the trail, and my plan here is to run up on the trail and then follow that for a bit and then run into the control, which I think that most runners in front of me will do. And as you soon will see that all runners is basically running the same route choice here. And once again, you could go more straight, but I think it goes so fast on the trail, and then staying in the group is better than trying something for yourself here. That's a high risk for sure. And so far it's been, I had to do some orienteering to make sure I get my forkings, but it's been really easy orienteering. It's really good visibility, and then you have all of these runners, so as long as you don't lose focus altogether, the orienteering challenge hasn't really been that hard. So I'm hoping for some good forkings and some more tricky control placements further on in the race, because my strength is still the orienteering technique, especially since I haven't been training like an elite athlete the last couple of years and have done very little high speed running in the forest. Basically most of my training is as an orienteering coach, running out, putting out controls and taking them in again, and shadowing the youngsters in my club. So this is I've done way too little of this the last 5 years since I stopped my elite career, and I can feel it running fast in the forest that I'm really not trained for that. But I'm still happy that I managed to keep a good position so far, and I'm feeling here that the pace is settling down a bit, so I feel a bit more in control, and I'm hoping to pick up some more placements and give my team Ukomos a good start. So here we have left the trail, and it's just we left the trail at that small hill, and then it's just about compass, checking the compass enough to make sure that I know where I am. I have the marsh to my left side there. I look a bit at that to see that I'm on my line, and it's basically a long line of runners, so it's not that much you have to do. But of course this control could have been forked as well. You don't know that when you run, so you gotta stay focused enough to don't do a mistake. And here I know that I'm down in that reentrant. I see the hill to the right side of me, and here I'm 100% sure that I will get the control. I just need to see that small hill right before the fourth control, and then we will get it. And then it's a short leg after that, also a common control. And here you can see so many runners. I'm punching there 1 minute and 31 seconds. There one guy did a mistake. 1 minute and 31 seconds behind the leaders, and at 128th place. So I've actually taken 3 more places on that control. And then to this fifth controls, it's a short leg. There I see the stone to the left side of me and that small hill. points just to make sure that I know exactly where I am, and everybody has the same control here, and it's just a quite easy short leg with just keeping a good direction, so everybody will get that control. And here I'm punching the control at 126 position, so I actually somehow managed to take 2 positions there. I don't know how that happened, because I didn't see me passing anyone, but maybe someone took another not so direct route to that control. And here the real forking starts, and this is the part of the course where I think the course setter really wanted to challenge us with a bit of a harder area with some green areas and quite big differences in the forking alternatives. And I have the control, you can see that little marsh in the green area that I'm running straight towards now, and it's obvious just use the trail here, and then my plan here is just to stick close to the straight line, going into the forest, getting that first hill. You can see, oh, there I got past some people. It's irritating when you think you're keeping a good pace and then someone passes you. But here you see that little hill right in front of me. That's the first point I want to hit. And then of course I have the trail that I will soon get out to, and here I just check my compass. And here I remember thinking that here it will probably be forkings, but it's still a long line. But some runners have probably run in a completely different direction that has the left alternative here. Yeah, you can see I'm not feeling super strong physically here, because I actually leave a gap to the guy in front. And I think that's partly also because I really want to make sure I hit this trail at the exact spot and make sure to check my compass a lot. And there we have the trail, so my plan is to follow that just a little bit. And then I just see the big hill inside, so I decide to jump directly into it. There I pass the marsh, and then I have the big hill to the left side of me, which is basically my attack point leading into this control. So here it's just about keeping a good direction, and then I try to see the more open area to the left of me and head into the green area and checking my compass a lot. But here I see some people punching in front, so it makes it easier with these many runners. As long as you are focused enough that you don't start following people to the wrong forkings, the orienteering for sure becomes easier. Because this control is quite hidden away, but you see so many people going there punching, and it helps. Which I don't like, because I prefer doing my own orienteering, since it's my strength, at least at this point when I'm not that well trained. But I'm hoping that it will pay off to just take my controls really safe all the way. And then to this one, another control. There is a lot of controls, and here I think that some people made some mistakes. And here I just try to run to the trail and follow that trail, and my control is the one, if I remember correctly, it is the small marsh, as you can see in the middle of all those controls. Here I saw that like a big reentrant with the green to the left of me, and then I know that I will hit the trail pretty perfect here, and I just follow the trail until it turns, and then start focusing more on the navigation. So it's funny seeing all of these controls here, because running the leg, only seeing my control, I didn't think that it was this much forking, because it felt like all runners had my controls. But that's basically the feeling you get when you manage to navigate correct to your control. So there I leave the trail, and then I see the big hill here, and then I basically will be looking for that big stone, and then after that going to the cliffs and the yellow hill. There I have the stone, so I just try to navigate from feature to feature to make sure that I have 100% control all the time where I am. There is someone doing a mistake, and here I pass the little green, and then I see the cliff there. So this is a perfect attack point. And here it's basically just about keeping a good direction. And a lot of runners are running more to the right, which is basically because they have controls there. And I think I follow follow them a bit too much here, but I see that yellow hill and then I know, okay, this is perfect place to attack my control from. And then there I see some people in front punching it. And it's, although I feel sorry for those people that you saw standing still there getting confused, it's sort of a nice feeling coming back here, seeing some people doing some mistakes, because then I know that I can pass some people. And then here I have the control right left to that eighth symbol, and that's the little yellow hill inside the green area. I run around the green here. A lot of people run right through it, and I think I gained some positions here from staying away from that the green. And then I just follow the contour line, follow the hill, and want to see that yellow hill in front of me. And there I see it. You see it right to the right of me. And then I want to use that that little saddle or spur, or what you would call this this thing here, with that is also yellow and open, and that's my attack point to the control. So here I just check my compass, and then I see a lot of people that also has this control going into it, and there I can see the small yellow hill. Barely, yeah, there we can see it. And I get that control in a good way as well. So happy with how I executed this. There you see someone who probably went to the wrong forking. And now I have, as you can see, I have that control with that on that cliff, on that yellow small hill. And this leg here is the only leg. Oh, there is someone else who, that guy actually passed me earlier, and now he hit the wrong forking. So the most important thing on a first leg like this is to just hit your correct control, because you lose so much time the moment you follow the wrong group. And here I just run up in the re-entrant, just follow that. And this control here is the only control I'm not completely satisfied, because I lost control here. I was a bit lucky, or I managed to stop in time, but you can see I'm going quite far left here. And here I knew exactly where I was at that trail. And the plan was to just run in a pretty straight line from here. But I think I just didn't check my direction good enough, because I wanted to run a bit more right than I'm running here. And then when I'm hitting this little hill here, I realized that I'm a bit to the left. You see the stone there right in front of me. That was a good feature to get. And I think it was unnecessary far off left at this control, so I tried to compensate from that. And here I think this should be quite easy, just hitting that hill on the other side of the marsh, and then following the slope to that really clear control feature that I have. But somehow here I get really confused. So here I'm running up that hill. And then here I just think I really missed my concentration here, because I somehow managed to think that I was in the marsh before the hills. I think I just completely lost my concentration, but then nothing added up on the map. You can see me actually stopping a bit here, but then I realized, okay, yeah, looking to the right and I see those hills, and realize, yeah, I'm just at the control. But this was a bit scary, because here I'm quite unsure, and then the camera stopped the recording after half an hour and starts again, so it was a 10 seconds gap, but that was basically just me finding out where I was. So there I lost some placements on going into that control, and it was maybe a 20 seconds mistake looking at it now. And it was basically just me losing focus, and maybe that's easy when you have gotten the first control in a so good way that you stop having enough respect for the orienteering, and just think that you will get the controls for free, and nothing in life comes free. You have to work for it, and that is true in orienteering as well. The moment you start thinking of something else, or just think, yeah, this control will be easy, you get punished. But I'm happy it was just a small 20-second mistake. And then to this next control, I just followed the guys in front of me, running quite much right out of the control, but that was to stay away of the cliff, so that was probably okay. And to this control, I have the forking that small little marsh. If you see the two top controls, I have the left one of those. So here I just try to get the small features. There I get the two nulls. That's a really good feature to get. And just stay close to the line, checking my compass a lot. So here it looks like I will run past another forking, but I'm just focused on getting my control and don't realize that the other people have another. There I see some people punching that one, but I'm 100% sure where I am here. I have that re-entrant to the left of me, keep checking my compass, and I can see that's the contour features, that it's a hill to the right of me, and I can see that there, and I just try to cut directly into my control here. And there we see the hill to the right of the control, and then I realized that my control should be just there. And there it is. So this was the last control of this forking area. Next control will be a common control, where I will report if I've taken any placements or lost any places in this part of the race. Quite tense here, have to struggle through the green area, but this control is basically all about staying on the line. And as we go out on the trail here, I see a lot of other people continuing to follow the trail, but I see no real point in following the trail. I have this nice stone here that is directly on my red line, so I just get that as a feature to check off. And I just keep checking my compass. And then here I decide to run around that yellow area because it was so runnable in the forest. I just follow this here, and then I see the opening in front of me. And then there are a lot of people who run more left here. So I think it was good running more straight than following the trail. Or actually, you see that guy, he was right in front of me before, so it made no difference really. But maybe it would have been better if I stayed to the line the whole way and cut through that yellow area. But here I get that control in a good way, and this is a common control, so I will punch here. You get passed by some people leading into it, but I will punch here at 91st position, 3 minutes and 8 seconds behind the leading teams at this point. So I've taken almost 35 places from the last common control, and as you can see, I've not really been passing people. It's just about getting my controls in a good way, and there are people falling off and doing small mistakes that I managed to pass on this quite tricky forking area. That was a fun part of the race. And then here we have a long leg with some different alternatives. I quite directly decided I want to run pretty straight. Managed to take, I don't think I needed to take any water there, but people are continuing to following the road here, and then we had this one guy who cuts into the forest, and I decided that's must be much faster than just running all the way to that trail that the others are going to run up on later. So I just tried to cut over here from the road to the trail out on the open area. And looking at the GPS afterwards, actually the leading group that had a lead on the 11th control ran around like a long left alternative using those trail to the left of the leg, and they lost some time on that. Not much, but it was for sure not the fastest. It was way better going straight. And actually later on this leg I take a bit of a better route choice, but the beginning here was really good. And here I can see to the right of me that I actually passed some people who continued running on the road all the way until the trail started. So it was a good decision to cut through here. And then here it's basically just pure running for a while, following this trail over the open area. And you can see my heart rate is 166, which is basically means that I'm pushing well over 90% on my max heart rate. And yeah, I would have liked to feel strong and be able to pass a lot of people here, but this is basically my limit now. Hope to get in a bit of a better shape again and do some more orienteering, but because it was frustrating to not feel that I have that extra gear to turn on and be able to pass people at this part of the race. And that guy in front of me starts hitting the downhill pretty intense, and I actually have to leave a gap to him at this point. And then here there are some different alternatives leading into the control. You can continue going more straight when you go down to the trail here, or follow the trail. And I decided to follow the trail, and this actually lost a bit of time because the people just cutting pretty straight or just being slightly right to the line and then hitting the trail into the control from there. Those you can see the runners in front of me going right. Those runners actually gained some time on that. I guess it was a bit too much going back and forth when you use the trail. Although I tried to save some meters soon here and jump from the trail to over the marsh. Yeah, here I tried to cut over and run through the marsh, and you see the runners in front of me are continuing to follow the trail. But it basically didn't make any difference. Maybe I gained some meters on them from saving these meters here. Yeah, I think I got a bit closer to that guy who ran past me or got a gap on me on that downhill. Yeah, and here it's basically no orienteering, just following the trail to the 12th control. And in general, I must say that at this point I have 167 in heart rate. I'm pushing with everything I got, and I got sort of bored here. I was like, can't there be more orienteering? And I guess that's it with the first leg. There are so many runners, and as I said, it's way easier if you just focus enough on your map when you have this many runners leading into each control. And I also think this terrain, at least during the daylight, wasn't that challenging. It was so good visibility and a lot of trails you could use, and all the height features was quite clear. So I had hoped for a bigger orienteering challenge, but I think the course setters still did a really good job with at least that earlier forking area, that they used that difficult area to make some quite big difference in the forking alternatives there. And for sure some runners was punished by that who wasn't completely focused. I got passed by another guy here. When am I going to start passing people? I basically never pass people, but I still have managed to gain a lot of positions just from doing good orienteering. And the 12th control, quite easy control, just leaving. There you see the runners going on the most straight alternative down there. And an easy control, just leaving the road and following this cliff here. And then it's basically job done for the control. Just after the cliff, it's just about getting up one contour and then follow the hill up to that small knoll. And here a lot of runners are coming in, since this is an unforked control. All runners from the different route choices are coming together here again. And here I actually managed to lose 5 positions here. I punch here at this control at 96th place, but I actually gained 3 seconds on the leading teams, and that was because the leading teams went on that long route choice to the left, the leading group, so that the runners that were in front lost some time on that leg. So although I didn't do it optimal either, I gained some time on the leaders. And here I think about running more straight, but I see everybody else is using the trail, and I think it's probably about the same, running a bit more left and using the trail in the beginning and running more straight. So I decided to do as the rest, follow the pack. And here for once I'm a bit alone, or I can barely see some runners in front of me and have some runners behind me. But this is also one of those controls where if I would have been able to do it again, I would have been running more straight. And you can see those runners were running even more left than me. And here it's basically a big line again. And this control is quite easy. You have that long hill that we soon will. Here we have that small one, and then the bigger one after that, and then some clear contour hill features before the march into the control. So it's mainly about just checking off those controls, and here I got passed by some people basically from not running fast enough. People are pushing hard, fighting for the positions. And maybe I could have been more offensive with my running here, because I have 160 beats per minute. So I think I could have pushed it maybe a bit harder here. But here I come up and at least don't let these runners run ahead of me. And there in front we can see that height feature. That is a good attack point leading into the marsh and the control. And here I decide to go up on that, and all the others run a bit around it. I think it's no reason to run left, since it's basically more straight hitting into the control running up here. I don't think it made a huge difference, but at least it's fun to take some own route choices. And on the next long leg you will see me going on a completely own route chase, which was a bit scary, but that will soon come up. And here going into the 13th control, I will be there at 103rd position, so lost 7 position on this leg. So I think that maybe someone I think this runner's running a bit to the left ran faster than me, and maybe someone also ran straight and ran faster than me. And at that point I'm 3 minutes and 29 seconds behind the fast guys. And at that 13 control I should have probably have pushed the pace a bit too hard. I could have done that. That was a bit weak of me. You need to push, because it's not that much far of the leg either. It's like 50 minutes running left here, so I should have turned on the turbo a bit more, I think. But it's easy to say afterwards. I was probably feeling really tired at this point. There I passed that guy. And then this is another leg, just staying close to the line. There we have that trail and that small hill. Then I see that hill to the left side of me. And then it's just about looking at the compass enough to make sure that you will hit that small stream and see the hill and the stone. And there I see that I have the hill to the right of me. And then here everybody has the same control here, which although you don't know it, you can feel that everybody's running in the correct direction, which makes it a bit easier. But you should always do your orienteering enough yourself. There you have the stream. And then I know that this control will be pretty easy to get, because you have the hill and then I even see the control. And here I managed to take one position, 102. I'm here, 328. So I actually took 1 second here at the leading teams that probably didn't execute that leg that well either. And then we have the long leg here. And here we see everybody. It's a forked leg, but everybody's heading out in the same direction. And then we have this small little trail right to the right of me, but I can see that the runners in front of me are not running towards that, and I think it's no reason to not follow that. And then I start looking further ahead on the leg. I have the longest alternative here, and here I don't understand why we're running just beside the trail, so I decide to run up on the trail. Here I do that decision, I think. And then look a bit more on the map and see that it's a quite big hill in front of us. And I see that trail, you see that trail right next to the lake that goes around the hill. And it's not that far off from the leg to my control, that is the one to the right. So I hesitate a bit because everybody else is running to the left side of me right now. And here I'm just going on my own. I think I think I was maybe one other guy when I looked at GPS afterwards on the whole first leg that took this route choice. So out of 330 persons, it was 2 people taking this route choice, and I was one of them. And I think the other guy who took it was following me on this route choice. So really went on my own here, but I wasn't that stressed about it because I for me it was quite obvious that this was a good route choice because I save quite many height meters and I have a lot of trails here. I can follow this tractor trail, and then I can just cut off from that to the trail next to the lake and follow that around the hill, and then I will follow that trail for a bit and have a really nice entry to the control just following the heights. But it's a strange feeling running with so many people basically elbowing your way through the forest with runners to the left and to the right of you and in front of you and the back of you. And here I don't even hear any other runners because they are so much further left on their route choices. I'm completely alone in the forest. It was a bit of a scary feeling because I thought, I hope I don't lose a minute or this. But then I look on the map and on the route to my control and think that no, this is a good route choice. I cannot lose time on this. I really don't believe that. And since this was a fork control, I think to the other forking, it's better to do the left alternative that all the runners did. And I think since that was an alternative, I think like everybody just followed in that direction because it was an okay route choice even to my control. So I think that's why it ended up that nobody took this route choice that I took. And I tried to push hard, but I'm also afraid that my pace will go down when I'm running here by myself. But I executed really well to this point. Finding the trail perfect there, just following it. And here my plan is to follow it for a bit until you see that hill to the left of the trail, and then you have that yellow spur that I will run up on, and then just follow the nice contour lines leading into the control. Try to push here, and I have 167 in my heart rate, which is an indication that I'm pushing hard. That is being on my limit for sure. I've been running 41 minutes, and I have seen the next part of the course, knowing that it's not that much after this. I try to push hard, but once again, being on my own here, it's a funny feeling being completely alone on a first leg on Team Ila. And I really hope when I get to the control that I will get an indication that I have took some places. I don't know how I would get that indication because there are basically runners everywhere. But running here, I have no idea how far in front or how far back I am in the field. So here we hit my exit point where I will exit the trail. I have the hill to the left of me, so I just take a good direction and then start aiming for that yellow little spur. And then here I think it's the main reason I decided to go for this route choice was that it looked so nice, like entry going into the control, because you could just run up on the hill that is often really fast and runnable, and here you get that really fast yellow area. And I think I executed well, but I still see no other runners, not in front of me, not running behind me either, so completely alone. Follow this contour here, and then I start looking ahead to that bigger hill that has a cliff on the right of it that I will try to hit, and then just follow the hill leading into the control. I have the marsh to the right of me. So it's quite easy navigation here. This is what I was talking about, that the visibility is so good, so as long as you can check your compass often enough, you can get all these quite visible hill features and use the contours a lot in your navigation. And then it wasn't that difficult. So there I see that hill with a cliff on it. So this is sort of my attack point. Of course, there's possible to do mistake over here, but that big hill formation that I'm on now is pretty easy to follow. So I just check my compass enough, and there I start seeing some people, and there I see people on the other forking that has had the the shorter forking here. And then I realized, yeah, this was probably a fork to control. And here it would have been, if I wasn't having full control over the contour features that I passed here, it would have been easy to start get the word when I see them coming from a different direction. But I continue to trust in the work that I've been doing during this leg, and yeah, here I'm pretty sure that I will soon see the control and see that hill formation in front of me. And there we have the runners that has my forkings. I don't know if you recognize the runners we've seen earlier on the leg, but like that guy, I was just with him at at before this control. So it basically made zero difference. So I think I took a place or two, but my route choice, I ended up on the same position in the pack from running that round route choice. But I'm still proud I did it, because I would have done it again, because I think it was a really good route choice, and I executed it well, so it wasn't really a big risk, because I was so sure that this was a good route choice. And I think I saved some energy for this last bit, because I didn't have to pass that hill in the middle of the leg and had quite easy running. And then we have a common control again, where we get to see if I manage to take some places and maybe move into top 100th position again. And quite nice orienteering here, but still not that difficult. We have these big hill features. To the right of me now we have that yellow hill that is really nice and easy to use in your navigation. So I use that as my attack point and just check the compass, and then knowing that I will see this small yellow hill before my small reentrant that is my control. And as you can see, it's a common control. Everybody had the same here. There we go down and get that control. One guy actually doing a mistake there. And here I'm punching at place 97. So I took some positions there, probably from people not executing the long leg that good, maybe running into the wrong forking. So it wasn't a bad decision, at least, to do that going on my own route choice, and it was actually nice to run by myself, because so far it's been fun this first leg, and I'm happy with how I executed it so far. But I also, in my mind, I remember thinking that I don't prefer running the first leg. I prefer running orienteering where there is not like 100 people in front of you and at the back of you all the time, and that you get to do more of your own navigation. So that was nice with that route choice. And here I try once again to do some of my own navigation, where I'm a bit closer to the line than those guys. And this is on the second contour where I actually will do a small mistake. But I didn't think this control was going to be forked, so I think I looked a bit too much on the other guys. But it's really easy to know where you're at here. You have that power line here, where you can know exactly where you're at. And now we're getting really close to the finish. It's like just 7 minutes or so until I will finish this race. I try to push hard there, but my legs are really tired. Like, this is the first time I'm running a full race, orienteering race at competition speed this year, and you get good at what you train at, and this I have trained way too little at. And here we can see all of the runners running more to the right, and I think I should be more to the left, but then I start following them for some reason, because here it's not that many clear features, and this actually, I have the first forking here, that small reentrant. But I think that I'm a bit more to the left than I am here, and I think I followed the other guys a bit too much. But here I'm starting to think, looking to the left, and the control should be more to the left. And there you see I passed the control, but then I see that one guy. You see that one guy in white jersey that is starting to run back, and I think, yeah, he's right. It must be down there. And here actually a lot of the guys having my forkings did this mistake. So you can see when I turn back here, you can see a lot of people turning back. So you can see. So I'm happy. Thanks to that guy in white jersey, you helped me out a bit. But I'm happy I was like focused enough to realize that it should be down there. But this control I should have done more of my own orienteering and run more left to the start, and I was probably getting tired and looking too much on the other guys, and that could have been a bigger mistake. But I'm happy it was like a 15-second mistake on top. I don't think it was more than that at least. And here I have a lot of guys right behind me that did that mistake, so I want to really keep my position here. Into this next control, I will actually have taken some placements. There's just this obviously a really easy control, just about checking your compass enough to get out on the right spot on the power line. And it's quite easy running on direction here also. The visibility is really great. And from here we can see that power line. And you can see where the control should be located at. So good execution on this one. And now it's just the last couple of controls leading into the finish. And I'm really tired in my legs at this point. But I want to at least keep my position. There I punch at 85th place. So I gained some positions, starting at 168th positions. I gained a lot of positions, and once again, as you can see, I barely not ran past a single person. It's just me being careful and doing good orienteering decisions all the way. And my shape isn't really good, but I played on my strength and have ran a good orienteering race, and I basically pushed with what I got. So at this point, I'm really happy, and I just want to finish the race in a good way. And I also here I'm like curious to know how far back will I be. At that last control I was 5 minutes and 15 seconds behind the leader. That was Okoline 2, I think, and a young Swiss that was running really fast there in front. There I got passed by some fast runners. Yeah, and this leg wasn't that much to do either. Just maybe I should have run, maybe kept closer to the power line. Would have maybe been good, but I think I just followed the guys in front a bit. But we will still hit the control in a good way here. Yeah, I think this was a quite okay route choice. I knew exactly where I went down the cliff there, so I knew that we should just pass the marsh here, and then there is some runners running a bit more to the right. Maybe that was just got passed by another guy. People are pushing hard there and are passing me. Then I got passed by a couple of guys getting stuck behind that tree. A bit frustrating, but I get the control good. And there I am at 90th position. So I lost 5 positions on that in the last bit leading into the control. And I'm 5 minutes and 26 seconds behind that spot. So here there are actually some different route choices. Some people going more left. I decided to just use the trail, and there it was a bit of a jump in the camera again. But here I'm closing into the last control. There I punched the last control, and it's basically a job done for me on the first leg. And I remember being quite happy here. Of course, focusing on pushing hard all the way through and give our second leg runner the map as quickly as possible. But I'm happy with how I executed this leg. As you could see, I did really good navigation all the way, hit my forkings, and did what I could. But this motivates me to get in better shape for orienteering and training a bit more, because it's more fun, especially running with this many fast runners, when you're in a better shape and can move up in the field and have that second gear when it's needed. And that I really didn't have, but I'm happy I'm finishing in 90th position, 5 minutes and 34 seconds behind. And actually we have this internal competition in our club where we're going to bet how far I was going to be off the leader on the first leg. And I said that I was going to be 5 minutes and 34 seconds behind. So I actually hit that on the second. So at least I'm realistic with my shape. And there we have Selmer. I'm handing the map to him, and I'm done with the first leg. So yeah, I think that was like as when I was thinking about this before, that was best case scenario, that I was going to be about 5 minutes after the top guys on this leg that are really elite orienteers at a really high level. I'm hoping to do more orienteering this year. Last year I only ran 2 competitions and Team Ila was one of them, so hopefully I will get the chance to run more this year, or I will make sure that I will do. And when I do, I will post it on this channel, so subscribe if you want to see me rambling on about my orienteering here. It's really cool that so many people already have found this small little orienteering channel that I started. So hope you enjoyed these videos and hope you had a great Team Ila weekend if you were there, or had a fun time spectating the race on the TV broadcast. See you in the next one.